Oh, well, hello, gentle viewers, and welcome back to another episode of What's That Bastard Mark Got to Play With That We Don't Have Yet? Well, today it's goggles. In particular, these goggles. HDO2. Been very lucky again, so we're going to do a really quick rundown of the differences between the old HDOs and the new HDO2s, which are coming out probably about now. And in the background, just, because he felt left out, were the old Dominator version 1s. Yeah, they said they wanted to be at the party, so I had to include them. They're actually really nice goggles for their time. They just have a tiny field of view, but it's super sharp and has an amazing image. But yes, their time has passed. Anyway, on to the new guys. What's different? Well, there's a few little shiny differences. Let's start with the panel itself. It is higher res. We've got a full 720p now, so these guys will do 1280 by 960 in 4x3 or 1280 by 720 in 16 by 9, which is kind of shiny. Sorry, Mr. HDO1, you've been eclipsed. There's also a couple of other nice shiny things to show off here. If I turn them over, oh my god, what is that? Oh dear. It's a button that does power things if you set the jumper the right way. So you can either configure that to switch on and off the power, or change the fan speed. And the fan is integrated, so you'll notice that the faceplate is integrated now. It's a little bit less tall than the original faceplate, which is kind of nice. And you don't need to worry about the balance lead going in there, so that's all taken care of. One of the other new features is this little wedge of foam in the side there. DJI could take a leaf out of this book, couldn't they? So that'll let you adjust the goggles to your face. With the two wedges in, out of the box, they fit perfectly on my face. If you are someone who the DJI goggles fit perfectly, you'll probably want to pull both of those out. They say in the manual as well that you can just pull one out for a sort of intermediate wedge experience, and that won't affect the optical experience at all. So yeah, if you have an intermediate face, you're covered as well. Right, there's something else shiny on the bottom here. Yeah, you've got more than just IPD. You've actually got a focal adjustment here, so you can change your diopter settings if you have a basic short or long-sighted prescription. Something like, I can't remember what the manual said, you can look it up, +2 to -6 or something like that. Maybe it's the other way around. Anyway, good news for pilots of all ages. You should be able to see without those annoying inserts. Not so good if you have astigmatism like I used to have. I used to have to run custom inserts, but it doesn't really look like there's any way you could mount those on the new goggles here. So, 2 months ago, I would have been quite disappointed in that, but I got my eyes peeled and lasered, so not a problem. Okay. What we really want to know is, what do they look like? I think we better attempt to stick a GoPro inside them, because then we'll get a totally realistic experience of exactly what it's like to fly with these goggles. Because YouTube is totally the best way to judge a flying experience with an FPV system. You can 100% judge the accuracy of, anyway, I've made my point. Let's get the camera in the things. Okay, no, we won't start with you, we'll start with the old ones. Let's have a look at an analog picture. There's some nice pulsing and so on going in there. I have no idea if that's actually in focus. You can see the old HDO version 1, and these ones are prototypes. So, and a few people have remarked that the picture on mine is very red compared to the later revisions. It may just be a setting that I just have prototype ones and it's more red. Anyway, it's a nice picture. Yes, we can see. We're looking at analog here, and now let's have a look at the HDO2s. Ta-da! So, hello. There's a bigger field of view. So you're looking at something like 46 degrees versus the 37 of the HDOs. And yeah, that's a nice big jump up, and really not that far off the HDV2s, which have the big fat 50 degree. And the other thing though worth noting is that these are super crisp everywhere. I mean, you can't really tell from this, but when you're flying with these things, it's like, it's super crisp. There is no blurriness at the edges at all. The other nice thing that I found was that these guys really feel like they're almost got less motion blur, and we never really noticed that there was any motion blur in these things. But once I jumped onto these, I'm like, wow, that's like super crisp. So the drivers have got a really fast response, which is what we want. Okay, I think we need to plug in some fancy digital stuff because we've got that sitting over here. So why don't we do that? And unplug that cord, and never mind, we'll get back to you. Okay, so what we're looking at now is the image in the original HDOs of the Bifrost. Hello. Going through the HDMI in 4:3. Now it looks much nicer than analog, despite what some of you blind gits might say. But let's shift over to the HDO2 and have a look, because the difference is quite something. Rightio, and here we have the HDO2s, and as you can see we've got 16:9 rather than 4:3, so we've got that extra info on the sides, but we've lost a little bit of vertical space. However, it's still pretty much equivalent to the original HDOs. I've got no idea if that's in focus, and it's definitely overexposed. I could try and, oops, that's the wrong way, turn down the brightness. Yeah, it's a bit better. It's just the GoPro doing that. It really does look superb in the goggles, and the image is crisp, corner to corner, and it's very nice to fly with. Now, is it DJI quality? Oh, comparisons abound. No, they're not as wide the field of view as the DJI goggles, and those things are damn hard to beat, but this is a definite upgrade from this, and I think Fatshark have done an amazing job with these guys. What's not to like? Well, oh, you mean I don't like something? You mean I'm not a biased reviewer? There's a couple of things that I'm not super fond of. One is the location of the power button. I'm sure I'll get used to this, but when you take goggles off your head, you grab them, right, and you push the button by accident, and then this happens, and yeah, there's the fan. It's not ideal. I'm sure I'll get used to not pressing that. Probably there would have been better, but anyway, I'm not a fan of power buttons in the first place. The other thing probably worth noting is the DVR. The DVR is the same DVR as in these guys. It only records analog. It will not record your digital, lovely digital Bifrost or whatever HDMI video that you're putting into that, but that's what this is for. This has got a DVR built into it as well, so yeah. That's about it, really. I mean, yeah, the rest is the same. Yours will probably come with the word Fatshark written on the front. Mine's got that, but it's written in white, and so you can't see it. Like overall conclusions here, I think these are the nicest goggles Fatshark have ever released. They are a noticeable step up from the HDOs for me, and they're definitely the nicest Fatshark goggle you can buy. It'll be really interesting to see how the Orca goggles compare when they come out shortly. But the DJI ones are the DJI ones. They're part of the DJI system. So yeah, they look great. Yeah, you can wedge analog in there if you really try. It's not like they made it easy for you. And good luck feeding any other signal in there or getting a signal out. So they're great at what they do, but closed system, DJI, same. You know the rant, I've had this before. Don't bother arguing with me in the comments, please. I'm too tired for that. You either know if you want these or not. Personally, any experienced flyer, I think, would love these. And I've put them on one other person's face so far. And he is someone who shall remain anonymous but has been flying for a long time, and yeah, he was impressed. And he's a fan of the DJI system. So, as always, I think the main thing to conclude with goggles is you need to try them. You need to get out in the field, put on a set of these things, and actually experience them for yourself, because that's the only way you can decide, do I like this? Like, I know people that fly with HDV2s and they swear by those because, yeah, they're crisp enough for me and I want the big field of view and that's what I want and they are the best goggle for me. And you can't argue with that. It's completely subjective. It's like saying band X is better than band Y. You know, you either like them or you don't, and what works for you works for you. So get out there, try a pair of these. Of course, all you early adopters should immediately go and buy thousands of these immediately to support Greg and Fatshark and all of the industry that we love. But no, seriously, try a pair. If you think you're gonna like them, just buy them. Like if you like the HDO2s, you will like these. If you have a bite frost system, just sell your kid or something, because that plus that is like, that's the shoes, man. You got to fly that. So that's about it. If you want a more in-depth technical review without bias of any sort, yeah, good luck with that. I'm sure there's plenty of other reviews. Make your decisions and leave some comments if you really want to. Subscribe if you really want to. I don't know, I don't care. That's that. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye now.